So you've just picked up your brand new Galaxy Z Fold 5 and you're looking for a case to protect it, but you don't want to spend more than you have to. Well, this GOHHME case for the Z Fold 5 may be a good option. So it offers magnetic hinge protection. You have a holder for the Galaxy Z Fold 5 S Pen, and you also have a kickstand as well. So let's take a closer look and see if this could be your next case. So the package just comes with this front case, which has a built-in screen protector for the front, and then the rear portion of the case, which has this type of felt material just to protect the phone. Attaching the front case to the phone is really simple, so you just snap it on, but before you do, you would peel off this blue adhesive strip that runs along the side and snap it into place. I've just left it on just so I could show in this review. The rear of the case has another one of those adhesive strips that you would just peel out, snap it into place to have it adhere to the phone body. There's also a small plastic lip at the top there and at the bottom here that helps the case snap onto the phone frame. You can see that same plastic lip at the top and at the bottom of the front case. Installation is super simple, so you would just snap on this front case after you peel out this adhesive strip. And I'm not going to do it right now because I have a couple other cases to review. So once you have the front part in, you would just snap in the back part. So I'm just going to retract this magnetic hinge here and snap that into place like so. And that's it. So the case is put on and it's really simple to install and remove. So design wise, this is actually a pretty nice looking case for something that comes in under $30 US and maybe a little bit cheaper on sale. Now, if we take a look at the front, you can see we have, decently thick bezels around here. And just looking at the cover screen, you can see this is the cover screen bezel here, and there's a bit of a gap. Now, if I take a look at the bezel on the left side, you can see if I slide this out, that's where the bezel is. And if I slide that back in, it pretty much sits flush with that bezel. Now, you won't be able to slide this out. This is only because I haven't removed that adhesive strip protective covering, because I'm going to be reviewing some other cases later. But let's take a look at the magnetic hinge. If I retract that back, that snaps into place pretty easily, and it's pretty secure. If I was to grab the S Pen holder, say, and just shake it, it's not really coming out. I don't really have a good grip, guys, but it's pretty secure on there. Now, to show you what it looks like when you unfold the phone, so take a look. That hinge is just going to slide over and rest on these bezels at the top and at the bottom. So it doesn't actually make contact with the screen, but even if it did, you do have that protective screen covering. Now, one thing I wanted to show is, imagine if you wanted to run the phone without, say, this front case here. Well, when the hinge is just closed like that, you can see the magnets don't make contact with anything, not with the hinge and not with the screen or anything like that. However, if you were to unfold the phone fully, and then snap these magnets, let me get a good angle here, into place, you can see that's going to make contact with the screen, which is not what you want. So you will have to run it with the front case on here. But yeah, it offers pretty good hinge protection, and you can always retract it, just clean out any type of dust or anything that accumulates and snap it back into place. If we look at the rear of the phone, so you can see we have a bunch of things going on. So for the most part, the phone has this matte finish that has a soft touch feel to it. So it doesn't feel slippery, it feels good and solid in the hand. The only exception to that is this portion right here where it swivels out. This is this type of, kind of a textured material, a bit more rough, but again, it still has a soft feel to it. But again, it feels nice in the hand. And of course, we do have the S Pen holder here, which widens, the grip of the phone. And if you're someone who finds the Z Fold 5 a bit too narrow, like me, I do wish I had a wider screen. This extra width on the case really gives it a little bit more ergonomics and a better hand feel. Now, the one thing that I do wish is that this S Pen holder was removable. I don't have an S Pen for this. And you can see if I try to, I can kind of pry up a little bit of this, it comes up a little bit, but it seems to be pretty much super glued in here, and it doesn't seem to be removable unless you wanted to, do a little bit of damage here, in which case the finishing may not be as nice. So you can see, taking a look at the top and the bottom, all of the ports are unobstructed except the SIM card slot. And again, you probably won't need access to that. Now, we also have a kickstand that comes out, and I find that you have to retract it or open it up to the maximum setting here for the most stability. And once you open the phone completely unfolded, you can just sit it down like that and watch content or what have you. And for the most part, it's pretty stable. You can see I can hit it, it kind of rocks, but it doesn't fall over at all. And again, you could do the same thing. Just leave the phone unfolded, open it up, and then watch your content on the front there. In terms of bezel protection, so if we take a look at the front, you can see it is raised higher than the protective screen. So you could just sit this down and the screen will be protected. But again, it does have a built-in screen protector right there. Now, the same is the case for the rear. You can see if I angle it, you could see the camera lens there, and they do have a raised lip as well, allowing you to just drop the phone down, and the camera lenses are going to be completely fine. Now, there is a little bit of rocking, you can see here. A little bit, very slight, not too bad at all. Where the problem is once you fully open the phone up, take a look at that. If that S Pen holder wasn't there, we wouldn't have this problem here. Take a look at that. That's really bad. I do wish they gave us the option to just completely remove this S Pen holder. It would sit, a little bit more flatter and flusher, allowing you to use this. So, you'd have to live with it at an angle or just always hold it in your hand. Now, one thing that I have been doing, I don't really recommend it, is I've just been retracting this part here, kind of gripping it like this and holding the phone like this. And, for the most part, that seems to work. I can hold it, do what I'm doing, read, and it hasn't given away yet. I mean, it may, so just a word of caution if you decide to do the same thing as me. So one thing I don't recommend doing is if you were to unfold the phone, don't just drop it down completely flat on a table or anything. I mean, you shouldn't need to, but you could see if you take a side view look at any of these, the lip on here is not really that much higher than on the phone. It actually seems kind of flush with it, so not something I recommend. If you're worried about the touchscreen functionality with this hard case applied on the front here, you could see I could easily just navigate around and it doesn't really affect anything, and I don't even have the touch sensitivity setting turned on. By the way, if you love to wirelessly charge your phone like me, you're not gonna have any problem with this case. You can see I can just drop it on there and it starts charging no problem. And I'll leave a link down to this wireless case. I've been using it for about a year on my Ultra series phones and folds, and I've had zero problems at all with it. So if you're interested in checking out this case for the Z Fold 5, I'm gonna leave a link down below. And when I purchased mine, it was around 25 US. They had a 35% coupon on there, and I mean, hopefully it's on there still because it's a pretty decent case for the price. By the way, I am going to be reviewing some higher end cases for the Z Fold 5 that offer a bit more protection than this case does. So if you're interested in that, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one soon.